So now we are on to my single shadow and small palette drawer. I'm gonna have a lot more repurchases here. Going with single shadows first, we'll start over here. So these are some Urban Decay singles. So this shade is Spike, that would be a no. Relish is a no. I know people have really been liking these Moon Dust shadows. This is Solstice. I haven't used it in a while, so I'm gonna say no to that one as well. And then YDK is such a good taupe. I didn't use it at all this winter, but it is something that I actually have repurchased before because I had it in like old formula, old packaging. So this is such a pretty shade. I actually would say yes to this one. And then all of these are Natasha Denona sample shadows. So they're not available for purchase, but if they were, so this is a shade from the Retro palette, My Dream, Zendo, Retro Glam, and the Glam palette. So out of these, the only one that I would actually repurchase would be this shade from the My Dream palette. It is so beautiful, and you can't even tell that it is a little bit duochromatic. There's some pink in there as well, so definitely would, if I could, repurchase that single. Then I have this other Natasha Denona single, very pretty, but no. And then I have this Kaja Bento in Peach Madeline. I have not actually used this one yet, so I'm not sure. So I think I'm gonna say no, just because I have not tried it yet, and I know I'm gonna have a lot of yeses here, but it's something, again, I might possibly change my mind in the future. Then here we have got some MAC eyeshadows from 2 holidays ago, the Shade Shifter Duochrome eyeshadows. I would repurchase all 4 of these. So, oh my gosh, this color is so pretty. This is Calling Your Bluff. Then we have Ho Ho Hocus, Right Before Your Eyes, and last color is Perplexing. Even though the blue and the green aren't shades I would use all the time, I think these are special enough that I would really want to have them in my collection. Then some other singles here. This is an Illamasqua Iconic Chrome Pigment Paint in the color Alluring, which is like a rose gold shade. It's supposed to be pressed, but it's broken. I really love this. I think it's beautiful, so that would be a yes. Then I have these 2 Hourglass Scattered Lights eyeshadows in Rapture and Blaze. I would say yes to the both of them. Then this Ciate Marbled Metals in the shade Gilded. I think that this is super pretty, but I haven't used it a ton, so I would say no to this one. But then over here I have this Dose of Colors Ideal Duo and Magic Moment limited edition. You have a very sticky cream shadow on top, then a loose shadow. I really love this, so I would repurchase that. Then I have these M Cosmetics Dewy Shadows in the color Wish and Star Child. I actually think these are really beautiful, so I would say yes to those. And then these Auric Smoke Reflex. So we have Disrupt, which is the more burgundy, and Entice, which is the olive. They're not as easy to slap on as some of these others, but I still really like them and would want them in my collection, so I'm gonna say yes to these 2. So then I have the Jaclyn Cosmetics Shimmer Top Coats and the Tarte Chrome Paint Shadow Pots. Part of me wants to say that I'd repurchase all the Jaclyn ones because I like having the full collection, but if I had to narrow it down, I'd probably just get these lighter 3 shades. So this first one is North Star, Glassy, and Icicle. So I would say yes to those, and then I guess no to these other ones. Then we have my Tarte Chrome Paint Shadow Pots. So I would say no to all of these minis. Wild at Heart, Citrine, and Pink Diamonds. Then we have Paradise Found and Unleashed. Yes to Paradise Found, no to the purple one. Next two are Fire Dancer and Caramel Apple. Yes to Caramel Apple, no to Fire Dancer just because I don't reach for it as much. Then we have got Top Yacht and Froze. Yes to Froze, no to Top Yacht. I don't reach for that shade that much for some reason. Then we have Martini and Sun Drenched. Yes to Martini. Let me hold on to Sun Drenched for a minute. Then I have Park Avenue Princess, which is a definite yes, and Beach Bay. I'd say yes to these. You guys know I like more coppery colors. So there we go. If I try to cram it, I can fit my Jaclyn and my Tarte. Then I've got my other singles here. Pretty happy with that. Not like ton of variety. A lot of pretty similar shades of things I would get a lot of use out of. So now let's transition to small palettes. In the middle here I have Natasha Denona. So this is Baby Biba. No to this one. Mini Metropolis. No, because of these two shades here. Mini Leela, I'm also gonna say no. I think it's really pretty, but I just don't reach for it enough. Then for these other minis, Mini Sunset, I have not used it yet, so I'll say no. Mini Bronze, yes. Mini Nude, yes. Mini Biba, yes. Mini Star, yes. Mini Zindo, no. I don't love this shade. I feel like I had like a little hard pan when I used that color. So just yes to the 4 of these. Then for the larger 5-pan palettes, oh gosh, this coral one. I feel like this is a maybe. The colors are so pretty. But I probably have this in other palettes. So I guess I'll say no. Oh, then this is palette number 2. Very pretty, but I guess I'd say no. Joya, no. Cupid, no. Peak, no. Cranberry, no. Jubilee, no. That's not good. That is not go. So now I'm going to take this out so we can access the palettes in the back a little bit easier. All right, so here are the rest of my small palettes. Zoeva Precious. Gosh, that's really pretty, but I guess I'd say no because I don't use it a ton. Dose of Colors, I Love Sadai. No, again, beautiful, but I don't use it enough and I would never use that glittery black. Makeup by Mario Bronzy Glam. Yes, I really love this one. You guys know my Anastasia Birkin and Bengal Transition Crease outer corner. Then you have a couple different shimmers that you could rotate out. I have taken this traveling because of that. Then this Rowan 1111 quad. No, a little more finicky to work with. I haven't used it in a while. Then this is Pat McGrath Nude Allure. I don't know. I feel like maybe I don't necessarily need these shades, but the formula is really good. But I guess if I'm going with my gut, I'll say no. Because I would like to say yes to these Flower Beauty Desert Lights, Jungle Lights. Amazing shimmer formula and some nice variety here and colors I would really get use out of this palette, just not this one. This palette, just not that one, but love the rest. Juvia's Place Bronze Rustic. I'm going to say no to this one as well. Juvia's Place doesn't have my most favorite formula. Then I've got 3 from M Cosmetics. Magic Hour, Venetian Rose, Faded Clementine. I'm going to say no to all of them. These are good, but overpriced. Then these Sigma palettes. This one is Rendezvous. I actually really love it. Use them all except that darkest shimmer. Definite yes. Magnifique is pretty, but I'm not obsessed. So no to this one. Then I did mention these Huda palettes in like my top 10 minis. So this is the light, medium, and rich. I guess no. Like it depends if I got these on a really good sale, but that's so hard. I'm gonna say no. Okay, I felt like this was not enough stuff, and then I remembered I did have a couple more things in my like everyday makeup basket. So this is the Aether Beauty Citrine Crystal Quad. Yes to this one. And then 2 more Natasha Denona mini palettes. This is Mini Love. Yes, I really love this matte and this shimmer. I've worn this so much that it definitely would be worth it to me. And then this was Mini Crush. And I really love these 2 shades here and have reached for them so much. So I would say yes to that one as well. This is so crazy to me that this is all that I would repurchase out of this single shadow small palette drawer. So lots of singles, but really not a ton of small palettes. But so I said yes to 11 mini palettes and no to 24. If I counted correctly for singles, yes to 24, no to 19. So now we're going to see which of my large palettes I would repurchase. I have 2 different palette drawers. This one has Indie, and then in the back, Natasha Denona Huda Beauty Sigma. Starting here with some Kaleidos ones. Sashimi City. I'm gonna say no. I like the shimmers, but I wish that the undertone of some of the mattes was a little different. Lunar Lavender. Yes, this is a phenomenal purple palette. Then we have Flower Punk. I want to say yes because I love these 4 shades here, but I guess I have to say no. The other ones are fine, but I definitely wouldn't purchase the palette just for that few number of shades. Club Nebula, Angelica's collab. Now I haven't reached for this a ton. A lot of these colors, especially this row, are out of my comfort zone, but I really like a lot of the looks that I created with it, and it is special enough that it is something that I would want to have in my collection. This is Aether Beauty Desert Sunset. I think I'm gonna say no. Really like these center shades, but the shades on the outer edge, I wish they were a little bit more warm tone, but the formula is really good, so I'm gonna say no there. Then we have Odin's Eye Red Dragon collab with Judy. You know, these colors are a little dark for me, as is that one. That's a little bright, but I love the other shades in here, and again, this is special enough that I would want to have it in my collection. Then we have Odin's Eye Solman 2. I have not used this one yet, which is terrible, but I really, again, feel like I would want to have this in my collection. Next is the Odin's Eye Merry Christmas palette. I have used this one, really like it. Definitely would want to have this. Then we have Adept Cosmetics House of L. I haven't used this one yet. Variety's sake, I should say yes, but I think I would reach for this less than some other ones, so I guess I'd say no, even though that hurts me. Glamlight Dirty Martini. You know, I'm gonna say yes, because I actually like this a lot more than I thought that I would. The looks were really pretty. I can pull in other browns to make it a little bit more wearable, but these shimmers are so pretty, so actually we'll say yes to that. Unearthly Cosmetics Leather and Lace. No, I shouldn't have purchased one. Formula's great, shades aren't unique enough. Unearthly Cosmetics Fall Magic. Really love this one. Very beautiful. Yes. Unearthly Cosmetics Lore Palette. I'm gonna say no to this one. I did really enjoy the looks. I think it's very pretty, but no. Then Adept Cosmetics Heather Austin palette. I'm gonna say yes. Some nice variety in here, really pretty shades. This is the Minka palette, new to me. I've only worn it once so far, but I think I would like to really have this one in my collection. Then from Lunar Beauty, this was the Advent Calendar palette. Have not used this one yet. Looks really pretty, but probably not a must-have. Lunar Beauty Moon Spell. Definitely haven't reached for this one enough. I love the concept. I love all of the witch names in here. Of course, I love Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Was obsessed with Charmed growing up. So there's lots of specialness about this palette, but like concept aside, I don't think so. Then we have these other palettes. It's Belle Cosmetics Break the Rules. Haven't used this one yet, but I'm gonna say no. Dawn of Fall, really pretty. I'm gonna say no. Haven't used It's Belle the Flare, but I will say no to this one as well, which is terrible, I know. Fantasy Cosmetica Sorcerer. I have not used this. It looks so pretty, but some of the shades are a little bright for my preference. Then we have the Druid palette. I'm gonna say yes. I think the colors in there are pretty. Sugar Drizzle, Sugar Dreams. I've not used this one yet, but I think for variety's sake, I would like to have that. Then Shroud Cosmetics Beauty Bean It's Freaking Bats. I've really loved the shimmers in here, but I think I'd say no. Dang, look at that. Then Give Me Glow Cosmetics 2 Moods. Really love that one. So yes. Natasha Denona here. Retro palette. Very pretty, but no. Bronze palette, I'm gonna say yes. I know it's kind of boring, but I really do like these type of shades. Then we have the Sunrise palette. I think I would say yes to this one because I really liked the looks that I came up with. And you know, if I could get this on like a super good 50% off sale again, then yes. I am going to say no to the Love palette. I would say no to the Sunset just because these shades aren't that special. Then we have Gold. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. I want to say yes, but I think I'm gonna say no. But Metropolis would be a yes. Then we have the Natasha Denona Glam Face and Eye palette. I need to use this one more, but I actually really do love this, so I would say yes to this one. Then my Huda Beauty palettes. This one is Rose Quartz. Yes, I really like her larger palettes. Naughty Nude. Also a yes. Mercury Retrograde, I'm going to say no. I've mentioned before, I just tend to reach for this for the pastel shades and totally neglect the more mauve colors or the more neutrals. I know that this should be better because it has more variety, but because it doesn't have as much of a theme, I end up not reaching for it, even though I love this formula. Then we have Desert Dusk. I really love this one. So yes. New Nude. Also really love this one, so I would say yes to those as well. Now we just have my Sigma palettes. So this one is Warm Neutral. It's really pretty, but I'm going to say no. I mean, I would like to keep them all for collector's sake, and I love the formula. Then we have Ambiance. I'm going to say yes to this. And you know what? Actually, I think I'm going to change my mind and end up saying no to Bronze and yes to Ambiance instead. I know the colors aren't exactly the same, but yeah, I think I'd pick Ambiance instead. Corday Rosette is a yes. The Enchanted palette, I'm going to say no. A lot of the mattes are a little bit too dark for my preference, and this is definitely a neglected palette. Then New Mod, I really do like this one, so I would say yes to this. Then Alice in Wonderland. I have not used this one yet. It looks really pretty. But I'm going to say no. I don't really use blues and greens a ton. Wouldn't use that shade. So yeah, I'd say no there. So we somehow have it right down the middle. 22 yes and 22 no. And I feel really happy looking at the ones that I said yes to. I feel like enough of shades I would get use out of, but still some palettes in here to give some variety. As I was getting to the bottom drawer, I forgot I had a couple palettes sitting on top of my vanity. This is the Kaleidos Astro Pink palette. I would say yes to this one. I think the colors are so beautiful. So I just moved that palette up. Then this is a palette that lives in the bottom drawer, so we'll start with my ColourPop ones. Orchid You Not. I'm gonna say no. I think it's pretty, but I really didn't need this one. And kind of same with the Wine and Only. It's like just a red version. Nice, but don't need it. Then let's go with these. Mandalorian. No, I haven't even used it. She's got Solstice. I'm going to say yes. I think this is very pretty. A lot of colors that I would enjoy in here. Then Sweet Talk is, of course, a yes. One of my favorite palettes. At First Sight, I love the colors in here, but there are just too many mattes for me. So I'm going to say no. But then the Lizzie McGuire What Dreams Are Made Of, yes. I think that this is so fun, and I actually really enjoyed the looks I created, and Lizzie McGuire was one of my absolute favorite shows. But it's not just the nostalgia that would make me want to repurchase it. Then a few more. ColourPop Malibu Barbie. The formula of this one is really good, but I'm going to say no. Then we have Hocus Pocus Gather Round Sisters. I really loved this palette, so I would say yes to this one. Then I have a couple Pat McGrath. This is Rose Decadence. Pretty, but I'm going to say no. Then the Bridgerton one. Again, very beautiful, but I would say no. And then I have this ColourPop Clay It Cool. I haven't even taken it out of the box yet. I would say no to this one as well. While we're here, let's go through these chunky monkeys in the back. This is It's Belle Cosmetics Cool Summer. I have not used this one yet either, but I would say yes for the variety. Then I have two from LA Girl. This Hey Hey Vacay. Very pretty, but I don't need it, although I really love their shimmer formula. And then this Haute Haute Heat. Very pretty as well, but no. Then from Glamlight, I have Michaela's first palette and the Ice Cream Dream. I'm going to say no. I wasn't super impressed with the formula on those. Then I have my single shadow palettes. Not going to be talking about those today. This is Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes. I really do like this palette. I need to use it more. Really good mattes. But no, I really reached for this to go with one of my Tarte Chrome Paint shadow pots. Then Too Faced Teddy Bear. Yes, I really loved this palette. Then all these Anastasia ones. Master Palette by Mario holds a very special place in my heart. But I'm going to say no. No to Modern Renaissance. No to Carly Bible. No to Jackie Aina. The Nouveau palette. I'm wanting to say yes, but then I'm thinking some of the shades in here that I really like remind me of the Glamlight Dirty Martini. So I think I'd pick that one over this. Then these next couple palettes. These are Alamar, Reina del Caribe. No. Spanglish, no. Oma Beauty, Coming to America, Royal Heritage. Very gorgeous, but I think I'd say no. Next we have Too Faced Gingerbread Spice. Really pretty, but no. Urban Decay Naked Heat. Sydney Grace Temptalia on the Horizon. I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes to that one. Sydney Grace Tiny Marvels. I honestly am not super drawn to a lot of the colors in here, so I'd say no. Patrick Ta Major Dimension 2. I really don't love this as much as everybody else, so I'm gonna say no. But Melt Gemini 2. I really like the colors in this one. Sorry for the shadow. Gonna say yes. Then this Lunar Beauty, pretty, but I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no to that Pat McGrath as well. So out of this bottom drawer, I only said yes to 8 palettes and no to all of the rest. And I believe there's about 25 that I said no to. All right, so now we're back up in the top drawer and I am just going to add these palettes in. So all the palettes I would say yes to fit in one drawer. I don't quite know how to feel about that. I even have room for growth, although the Give Me Glow one is so big I really kind of have to store it laying down like that. I just don't know how to feel about this. I feel like this is just not enough. The palettes are really, really hard to let go of. They're just so expensive. But looking at what I've kept, I do feel happy about these, excited about these. A lot of either my favorite formulas and then also a lot of indie palettes.